Is it true that the popes believe that AI is going to destroy the world? Or maybe it's just claiming for AI ethics? Can you believe? I mean, is the pope claiming that we need AI ethics? It is crazy. And we have another crazy news that Dario Amodei, the founder of Anthropic, explains which language is in the brain of AI. I mean, is he speaking English, Spanish, probably Sardinian? I don't know which kind of language is it speaking. And we're gonna see the letter that the founder of Fiverr sends to all their employees saying AI is coming for your jobs. I mean, and when the founder of a startup in a company based out of freelancer is telling you that, I mean, it's kind of scary. We're gonna see also the letter that the founder of Duolingo is saying, hey guys, we're not gonna be human first, we're gonna be AI first. So you gotta adapt. So this is a crazy story about it. And also we're gonna see what AI mechanistic interpretability means. Like, it's a fancy word for saying what the hell is going on in the brain of AI. Like, how do we know what is going on? Because crazy enough, a lot of people think that we know how AI works, but in reality, we know very little. Like, we know very little about this AI works. We know more about how to use it than how it works.
Got a podcast in my ear, it's AI made simple. For hustlers and dreamers, no need for a symbol. Learn the upgrades, be the boss of the game. Entrepreneurs rise up, let's ignite the flame.
AI in your pocket, wisdom in your head. Don't get swept away, stay ahead instead.
The main guest today is Matteo Minotti, that is an Italian, we can say, startupper. Is an expert on business development, and he just left a business accelerator, a startup accelerator in Italy. But Matteo, how you doing? I will take 30 seconds to introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you, Mauro, for inviting me here. So I'm great, and I love to have the chance to come to your podcast for the second time. It's something I really like to do with you. So my background, so I was a startupper, and I'm going to be a startupper soon. And in between, I worked for the innovation ecosystem in Italy, both in digital and deep tech. My first skill is market validation, but I won't deepen that topic too much. So we can start with our.
So just to let the people understand, you are an expert in to understand, first of all, a little bit about, like, you're a little bit like a philosopher of startups from some standpoint. So why startups should be there, like, should be in the market of not. What is because business development at the end is like understanding the essence of a startup. It's not think at the marketing, think about only the product, but it's more about holistically, is this startup, how it should work, where we should look at it. And we also have an experience in a previous startup together. So
Yeah,
more than one. So we have a long time that we speak. So let's go to the first thing, because I really think that you bring me this today, and this was your idea, and I love to discuss about this, because we can we start with the founder of Fiverr or the founder of Duolingo? What do you say?
I will go with Fiverr first.
Fiverr, yeah, it's more dramatic. So here we go. So the Fiverr CEO stunning letter to all employees. AI is coming for your job. Heck is coming for my job too. So let's see if we can read very fast this email. So, hey team, I've always believed in radical candor and despise those who sugarcoat reality to avoid stating the unpleasant truth. The very basis for radical candor is care. You care enough about your friends and colleagues to tell them the truth because you want them to be able to understand, grow, and succeed. So here is the unpleasant truth. AI is coming for your job. Heck is coming for my job too. This is a wake-up call. It does not matter if you're a programmer, a designer, a product manager, a data scientist, a lawyer, customer support rep, a salesperson, or a finance person. AI is coming for you. You must understand that what was once considered easy tasks will no longer exist. What was considered hard tasks will be the new easy, and what was considered an impossible task will be the new hard. If you do not become an exceptional talent at what you do, a master, you will face the needs for a career change in a matter of months. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to talk you about your job at Fiverr. I am talking about your ability to stay in your profession in the industry. Are we all doomed? Not for all of us, but those who will not wake up and understand the new reality fast are unfortunately doomed. So, what can we do? First of all, take a moment and let this sink in. Drink a glass of water. Let's do it. You have a glass of water? I have
Yeah,
it.
have a bottle.
Good. Like with a little bit pre-workout inside because we need to be fast thinking today. So drink a glass of water, scream hard in front of the mirror if it helps you. Now relax. Panic hasn't solved problems for anyone. Let's talk about what will help you become an exceptional talent in your field. By the way, just to let you know this, in September or August 2024, I was running my coaching company in Italy. We scaled it from 40K a month to 400K a month. Before I dive into all in to say, hey, I reunited all the team, and I tell them exactly this. Like, guys, nobody has job security right now. So I want to get in details later, but this is very relatable. These conversations are happening in a lot of places right now, and
Yeah.
I love that this guy put it up there. So let's talk about what helped you become an exceptional talent in your field. Study, research, and master the latest AI solution in your field. Try multiple solutions and figure out what gives you superpowers. And by superpowers, I mean the ability to generate more outcomes per unit of time with better quality per delivery. Programmers, code like Cursor, Bolt, Lovable, customer support, ticket like Intercom, Thing, Sentisum, lawyers, contracts, Lexis, Legora, etc. Find the most knowledgeable per people on our team who can help you become more familiar with the latest and greatest in AI. Time is the most valuable asset we have. If you're working like it's 2024, you're doing it wrong. You're expected and needed to do more, faster, and more efficiently now. Become a prompt engineer. Google is that. Like LLM and Gen AI are the news basics, and if you're not using them as an expert, your value will decrease before you know what hit you. Get involved in making the organization more efficient using AI tooling technologies. It does not make sense to hire more people before we learn how to do more with what we have. Understand the company strategy well and contribute to helping it achieve its goal. Don't wait to be invited to a meeting where we ask each participant for ideas. There will be no such meeting. Instead, your ideas proactively. Stop waiting for the word or your place of work to hand you opportunities to learn and grow. You gotta create these opportunities yourself. I vow to help anyone who wants to help themselves. If you don't like what I wrote, if you think I'm full of shit or just an asshole who just trying to scare you, be my guest and disregard this message. I love you all and wish you nothing but good things. But I honestly don't think that a promising professional future awaits you if you disregard reality. If, on the other hand, you understand deep inside that I'm right and I want all of us to be on the winning side of history, join me in a conversation about where we go from here as a company, as an individual professions. We have a magnificent company and a bright future ahead of us. We just need to wake up and understand that it won't be pretty or easy. It will be hard and demanding, but damn well worth it. This message is food for thought. I have asked Shelly to free up time on my calendar in the next few weeks so that those of you who wish to sit with me and discuss our future can do so. I look forward to seeing you. Yours, Micha. This is the founder and the CEO of Fiverr. So, I mean, first of all, is a very well written letter. I love it. Mate, what do you think?
So what I like of this letter is that it has two parts in it, and they are perfectly crafted to send a message. So the first one is the emotional side of it, and like
Yeah.
the cold shower on the topic. So everyone is hearing since a few years that the AI is coming for our jobs. So nothing new, but the way he does it sounds very coming out of a deep analysis, you know. So I
Yeah.
really like the way it's not on the surface of the topic, but it goes in the deep, putting himself as well into the basket of people who have to watch out for AI. So this is the first element. So very very well done. And the second one is like a sort of checklist. He gives a solution to his employees, but to all of us that we are living in this AI revolution. And he says, try to get closer to people that knows AI, talks AI, does AI, learn
Yeah.
what's that about, start from the basics, use some tools as an expert. Also because we don't know how to be expert in the future, but what we know is that you have to be as far as you can today, you know. So today
Yeah.
the edge of it is a ChatGPT, go with that, and soon you're going to be able to switch to the next tools or next. We have agentic AI right now. This is it's very on.
It's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to do some stuff myself, and it's funny because they don't work, but I won't give up on this. I really find them interesting. We can say that this is a sort of
Also, hiring an employee usually don't work. I mean, it's not
totally.
that with humans always works.
No, but in this case, it's my skills are not that good on programming or low code programming. So I see my agentic CEO helper that needs refinement, but I love that, like the infrastructure they have and what they can do if you make some layers of operational work. But anyway, we will maybe come back to that later. So I really think that he did something close to a manifesto we can look
Yeah.
at and have also a moment of thinking, of realizing what's happening and the opportunity we still have as an individual, as a collectivity to catch this wave and be on it instead of under it.
Look, usually my normal metaphor for this is a tsunami. So I've been in San Francisco, we was speaking before, for 6 months, and I see exactly what is going on. And I wanted to be there to see in first person, right? To have a time travel through history and see how things has been done until now in San Francisco, because usually you get the top of the new technologies there, at least with AI for sure. And just to let you know, when I arrived, the old city was packed with billboards. Look, I'm gonna show you now so you understand what I mean. And this was August 2024. San Francisco billboard, Java, stop hiring humans. So I was there thinking, like, but how AI is big right now in US? I don't know. Like, it's gonna be big. Like, how much is that? And I arrive, and I don't even arrive into the city that these things are all over the place. Let me show you. Look, billboards in the roads in Italy, and in some other place we have like the lawyer, we have like the supermarket, we have
Yeah.
all around San Francisco. There is like this: stop hiring humans, hire Ava the IFBR. It's funny because they put the fake error. So all over the place they was saying this, and I didn't even enter into the city. This was the highway, right? So I realized that a tsunami was coming, right? So we have three types of people that are in the tsunami right now. We have the people that are causing the tsunami, like OpenAI, Google, the major governments, Anthropic, all the big guys. We can say from 100 billions or more, let's say, they have mainly like foundational models, and they're pushing right now the governments as well, the government of China. And if you're one of those, I mean, right now you're in very good hands because it's the best time in history. you have people on top of the tsunami that are using the wave to go higher and faster than ever. We at sayhey.com, we plan to do this. We're trying to use this moment in the best way ever. And this CEO is referring to everybody to have the time of their life with AI right now. So we can say there, we can put there like cursor, we can put like bold, lovable, we can put, let's say, I don't know, any AI first company, and we have people that are very top, people that are using in the middle, and freelancers that are thriving with AI. Everybody's there trying to drive this rush, this wave. And after that, you have people that are in front of the tsunami. That is not a very pretty situation. So relative of mine get involved in a real tsunami in the tropical island, and they survive only because they were into an anti-tsunami place, an anti-tsunami hotel, right? Because they were there, they was working into a yacht, and the rich guy paid for everything, right? It was like one or two hotels in this place that were anti-tsunami. Everybody else has like a duplex, and they got wiped out completely by the tsunami. Like completely wiped out. They wake up in a like apocalyptic scenario. So the people there have a lot of money right now. They're sitting on top of a lot of cash, or they have some kind of protected status. They're gonna be in that tsunami hotel. But everybody else that has like a normal house is gonna be destroyed. Most of them. So there is no way of stopping this that we know. So my call for everybody is that don't negotiate with your brain about this. It's not like a war is coming. If you're in 1937 and World War II is coming, you don't say, yeah, but maybe a war is coming. And there is nothing to do. If not accept it, deal with it, and realize that we are in times of war. The good thing about this war is that right now you can be richer than ever. You can be more famous than ever. You can be more fulfilled than ever if you thrive on this. But the window is closing. So you gotta be extremely fast on adapting. And I really think that the only way of surviving this is quick learning. If you know how to learn quick and to adapt fast, and have the mentality and the attitude of continuously changing and adapting, you're gonna thrive, and not only survive, but thrive in this world. If instead you want to stay where you are, like you are thinking that work-life balance is more important than performances today, is the wrong side of history. You can do that 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Today is not the time for that. So focus on your job, understand how you can leverage AI, how you can surround yourself, and it's not going to be ugly. And it's better to feel the pain now in learning this stuff than feel the pain in 1, 2, 3 years. This year, we're going to see a lot of layoffs for AI. But in 2026, it's going to be very ugly. 2027 as well. So feel the pain now of adapting, doing it manually, voluntarily, and because otherwise it's going to be very, very hard. But let's go also to the other letter of the...
Yeah, I want to say something
Please.
about our relationship on this topic. You remember, like the first time we were having this conversation about the window of opportunity on AI, I was very negative on this. I said, no, this is not a window of opportunity. This market has a strong concentration movement, so it means the bigger actors are going to take the biggest stakes in this, and somehow
Yeah.
they are going to take all the market. But actually,
Well, 2023, right?
yeah, exactly.
This was 2023.
It was 2023. So I couldn't be wronger than that. And we learned that later. So
Takes courage to say it.
yeah, I have to say that. I have to admit that. So at the beginning, like being AI wrapped, it looked like you were having nothing in your hand and just going into this market. But actually, there were many other values created that right now are sort of creating huge assets for entrepreneurs. like the fact that you have a customer base, that you somehow refined a UX and UI in order to give the value of the foundational model and apply into a specific use or a set of use cases for the customer. That's where you create the final value of it, not just the foundational models. And right now we're starting to see how the big companies are, of course, buying some startup, but at the same time
Yeah.
they are fearing the new ones coming because some of them are AI first or AI enabled. And that's where
Look,
we get to the letter.
is a great point. And before the letter, I would like to put something that we didn't include, but I think is exactly what you're saying. But let's do this. We see the letter, and after that, we see what Figma Make is doing. So because I think that it is very recent, very important. So let's see what the Duolingo CEO said. So I think this one here, yes. So this is the official page of Duolingo. It's like 2 weeks ago, they released this letter. I'm gonna zoom a little bit. So this is the Duolingo founder, Luis, is saying it. So I've said this in Q&As and many meetings, but I want to make it official. Duolingo is going to be AI first. AI is already changing how works get done. It's not a question of if or when. It's happening now. When there is a shift this big, the worst thing you can do is wait. In 2012, bet on mobile. While others were focusing on mobile companion apps for websites, we decided to build mobile first. We saw the future. The decision helped us win the 2013 iPhone App of the Year and unlock the organic word of mouth that followed. And especially any grandma that right now is learning English or Spanish through Duolingo, like my mom, that right now is crazy on Duolingo. It's so easy to use on phone, and they betted something that 10 years ago was unthinkable, that a 65 years old lady will use that. Betting on mobile made all the difference. We're making it a similar call now, and this time the platform shift is AI. AI is just a productivity boost. It's helped get closer to our mission, to teach well, to create a massive amount of content, or doing that manually doesn't scale. One of the best decisions we made recently was replacing a slow manual content creation process with one powered by AI. Without AI, it will take us decades to scale our content to more learners. We owe to our learners to get them this content ASAP. AI helps also build features like video calls that were impossible to build before for the first time ever. Teaching as well as the best human tutors is within our reach. Being AI first means that we'll need to rethink much of how we work. Minor tweaks to system designed for humans won't get us there. That's very powerful. In many cases, we'll need to start from scratch. We're not going to rebuild everything overnight, and some things, like getting AI to understand our code base, will take time. However, we can't wait until the technology is 100% perfect. We'd rather move with urgency and take occasional small hits on quality than move slowly and miss the moment. We'll be rolling out a few constructive constraints to help guide these shifts. One, we'll gradually stop using contractors to do works that AI can handle. Well, the Fiverr CEO will not too happy about it, maybe. I will use part of what we look for in hiring. AI will be part of what we evaluate in performance reviews. Headcount will only be given if a team cannot automate more of their work. Most function, let me read again. Headcounts will only be given if a team cannot automate more of their work. I think that this means we cannot hire more people if AI cannot increase the performances of the people we already have. Most functions will have specific initiatives to fundamentally change how they work. All of this said, Duolingo will remain a company that cares deeply about its employees. This isn't about replacing duos with AI. It's about removing bottlenecks so we can do more with the outstanding duos we already have. We want you to focus on creative work in real problems, not repetitive tasks. We're going to support you with more training, mentorship, and tooling for AI in your function. Change can be scary, but I'm confident that this great step for Duolingo, it will help us better deliver on our mission. And for Duos, it means staying ahead of the curve in using this technology to get things done. Luis, look, I would like to get you feedback on this and also want to show you another video that is very correlated on this. Please, what do you think?
So, again, very well expressed, and it's self-commenting in the way. I think that the most important thing of this letter is where he says about he wants to move to AI first. And even though he says he cares for employees, of course he does, he says he will work with these exceptional employees. He doesn't say anything of the rest. But in any case, so AI first or AI enabled. What's the difference between these two models? Because we know that AI is in the tech business, is in the business since a decade, or even more. If we go to the research aspects, we can go back decades, more than one decade. The thing is, AI first means AI native, means that the organization is built around AI and AI workflows,
Yeah.
versus rather than being enabled, it means that you are just using some tools to the regular workflow. And this is the big change, and it gets back to the opportunity. I close on this. The opportunity window we were talking about before. So they have to switch to AI first. But you starting now, you don't have to do the switch. And the amount of innovations, maybe business not related to product innovation, but process innovation that you can apply with that is so huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about there is one company that is their goal is to do 30 million ARR with 3 employees. That
My gosh.
like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, what was like unthinkable, right? Unless like I cannot think any business that can do that, to be honest, without AI. I don't know, but
No, but
to be honest,
for example, that's a number of some very huge company listed on the U.S. market, public market.
yeah.
But they do that after, I don't know, maybe 30, 50 years, 40 years on the business. They create immense capital. So at the end, if you see the productivity, you'll see that it's one employee like creating millions of revenue. But they
But it's a
needed.
finance business? You mean like a finance business
No, no,
where
like
like
no,
hedge fund, something
no,
like
no,
this?
Microsoft as well. I don't know what's the number of the Facebook tech companies have this kind of
Okay.
productivity, but they needed 30 years to do that. Right now, maybe if you see Lovable, you need 6 months. 30
That's
people,
crazy.
and you have 30 million of ARR. That's crazy.
And also, is reasonable to reach, let's say, to 1 million or let's say 10 million per ARR per employee when you have 10,000 employees? Like but there is a minimum barrier of how many things you can do with like 10 people. It's very like with 10,000 people you can shoot to the moon and you can like conquer everything compared to like with 10 people like like it's gonna be very hard. And I think you have the data of like the annual revenue per employee of this company, right? What did you
Yes.
find?
So we have the highest one is Facebook, so it's 1 million.3 per employee. Then we
Yeah.
have Microsoft that is around 1.1, and
Yeah.
then we have Lovable with 1 million. The only difference is that the first company is 30 years old, the second one is 40 or 50 years old, the last one is 6 months years old. That's
I mean,
astonishing numbers.
6 months is not even like 6 months is you're just born. It's not that. It's crazy. Well, first of all, that's and the crazy thing is that Lovable is not from San Francisco, Silicon Valley world. It's like from Sweden. The guy didn't think one of the guys didn't speak English properly, I think. They're one of the lovable founders in Sweden, right?
Yeah, it is. It's
It,
incredible the opportunity you see it in those moments.
wow. It's crazy. But look, I got a clip here where basically I was in a Patrick Bet Davis event. Look, and basically, and this was September of the last year, and I was told to Patrick asked a question, what would you do if you gotta fire other people from your company because AI is gonna do their job? What did you tell them? And what I tell him is exactly the speech that I give to my company. And at the time in September, like, you don't know how many people reach out to me after that and tell me, "Oh my God, but what about AI? Oh my God, tell me more, tell me more." Like September 2024, an audience filled with 10,000 people, 80% entrepreneurs. The other 20% was executive of entrepreneurs. They have no fucking clue where we're going. Like, 80%. Right now, I think that the market is changing. People are realizing more and more. So the adoption of this technology is still the biggest bottleneck, because some companies still, I was speaking with a lady that is French, as a coaching company in France, and they were hiring a setter, right? A DM setter for their business. And so a friend of mine reached out to me and said, "Hey, this lady that I know is looking for a DM setter, speak to her," right? I speak to her, and she was very scared about the idea of using AI. So for her, having a human was much more suitable than having an AI. She didn't want to speak about AI, like, really. So I can guarantee you that in 6 months, she's gonna say, "Hey, let me take it this, because this AI setter, this human that I have, is a fucking pain in the ass. Let me check." So, but still, the acquisition is much related to how fast people that think that AI is a viable option. And in some places, like, I don't know, San Francisco is one thing, but America, US is not San Francisco. 95% is some places that they don't care about AI. They just care about doing stuff. So I really think that right now the biggest bottleneck ever is gonna be how fast consumer we adopt AI outside and inside the company. Because think about, we have a mutual friend of ours that is a developer. You know who he is, right? So let's say the last year, we built something together. I love the guy. I'm not saying his name, but you know who I'm speaking to. And we were building a software, and he was not using AI to build the code, like zero. He built the software in C sharp, right? That is something that is very like corporate thing that you gotta build it for stability, and everything was like the old way of developers, right? And at the same time, there were people in the other side of the world building code with cursor. I see somebody that was building something with cursors in front of me, was a manager of Dell, was a senior developer and manager at Dell. And we were thinking about a partnership, so we paid some consultants hour with him. Say, "Hey, show me how you build stuff." And the speed on how he built a function for say, "Hey," was a WhatsApp warm up. How do you warm up a number for WhatsApp so you don't get banned, right? In like 3 hours, 2 hours and a half. We was like blown up by the speed, and it's the same profession, same guy, same everything. So the quickness of adoption inside and outside right now is gonna be the biggest bottleneck, because the developer without AI was not feeling the pain of being outnumbered by somebody else that using AI. So the other thing. But a biggest strength right now in San Francisco world is that they're not hiring junior employees, junior developers anymore. They
Yeah,
keep the senior one.
numbers are 50% lower than previous year. That's enormous. The job post on developers.
And this is not that they are not hiring top-notch guys. they are not hiring junior developers. They do like repetitive job because the amount of productivity with senior developers is going like this. Like with every cursor update, with every new LLM, is becoming like this. And if you ever see one of the videos of some expert developer doing vibe coding
No,
and he's
I
building
haven't.
stuff, like seems like when you're an expert developer and you have an employee that does stuff for you like very fast like this, is magic. So let's go quickly on Figma.
Yeah.
So Figma launched Make. Here we go. So basically, we can take, like, for reference, my LinkedIn post because I write a LinkedIn post on it. So we were speaking about AI first companies, right? And by the way, look, my LinkedIn, the first thing is the chief of staff of Artisan about the Artisan won't complain about work-life balance. This is a real ad in San Francisco. I saw a lot of them. So
Crazy also the name they chose for the startup, Artisans.
Artisans. So quickly, is that Figma just released Make. Is Cursor dead? Figma just word a warming shot at every vibe coding startup on the map. Figma, this is just an out product. They declare war. They release Figma Make. So it's a natural language AI powered code generation layer on top of Figma design canvas. So basically, what happened is that right now you can build directly design with just a line of text. You can say, hey, build me a dashboard that do XYZ percentages with color, red, green stuff, and basically it's gonna build it for you, right? So they have two things. Figma Make, so it is AI enhanced prototyping from prompt to React code. So you're gonna have directly front end code from there. And the second one is Figma Sites, a CMS and publishing layer to the rival WordPress. Again, is very AI centered, right? So Make is in a place that is kind of strange because before that, a lot of people were just jumping Figma, well, not using Figma like before. Figma was used to create the dashboard, create the front end, and after that, you create the code on top of that, right? So what Figma wants to do basically is say, no, we go back to Figma, we use Figma, we build the front end, and in a second phase, you attach cursor to it. It's not that you start building in cursor lovable or whatever, and you do everything there. So first, you create the front end with Make. You make sure that does it work. The code usually at the beginning of a project is not easy to build it with cursor. Cursor is much better in a little bit late stage after you build the foundation of it. So this is just the beginning because in the live demo the Make glitch didn't work. So that's the good thing about being live, right? But has been also acquired by Adobe Figma. We're gonna see right now what is happening. What do you think?
So here you have like those big platforms that are making these moves towards the famous workforce we were talking before. So, sorry, workflow, not workforce. So you need, in order to gain your traction in this new world, you need your data. You need access to the data. Maybe that's the reason why Adobe moved into Figma and realized that they had a sort of privileged access to those data.
Actually, that's kind of a great take. Interesting. Yeah, go on.
So I think the most important element that we can retain from this story is like find the right workflow of your customer and put yourself into that workflow because that's going to create a habit and get you adopted by your customer. So I think this is a very operational approach for a founder, but still you see the giants doing it, we should do that too.
Look, I really think that the use cases, specific use cases, for AI in the workflow of your customer is what really is gonna make the difference. If you can nail exactly what the customer wants and build it with AI, this is what's gonna make the difference. Because right now, you remember like at the beginning with emails, like when you send an email and everybody will say, "Oh my God, I receive an electronic email. Let me read it." Like, who is this guy? I don't know. Let me read it. Like right now, you receive a 50 million emails and you didn't watch the important ones because there are too much, right? So this is the same effect right now with AI. Everything that is AI is cool. Everything that it has AI is like, oh my God. But still, the real AI that are going to solve problems and like have a lasting effect in the market are AIs that really solve a problem and is not a problem that is easily replaceable with something like, for example, OpenAI just built a feature that integrates directly with GitHub. GitHub is from Microsoft, right? So they create a collaboration. So right now with OpenAI, you can search inside GitHub and get back all the questions, all the answers that you want from the code inside GitHub. I think some hundreds of startups that did that just died because they were doing that. So it's also the fact of what is your competitive advantage? Are you just building something that is going to be easily replaceable by the big guys, or maybe it's not easy to replace you like Figma is doing? Because probably if you consider how many users Figma has, how many the competitor, if you ever saw V0.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's like a front end creator, like the one they want to build it. Well, why did they say Figma? Yeah, so basically, yeah, Figma they didn't bite. So basically, you can go here and you can say create a sales dash green colors and a sleek modern design for a remote sales team. Boom. And basically what it does, you gotta create the, let's see if it allows me to do it. I don't have an account here, but basically what it does, if I can see here, it just creates whatever front end you want to see, right? For example, this one here, this is a dashboard built with the V0, just with code, just with a line of text, right? So basically, it was like very similar to what the guys are building it.
In Figma.
What is gonna happen to this startup? I don't know, because like Figma is much bigger, so we'll see.
You know, on the topic, like I think that the ability to understand what the customer wants and how we behave with the problem and with the product, that is more in the UX research area, is also an area where a startup can really make a huge jump on the way it used to be done before and is done right now. So right now, user research is making use of a digital twin of customers, a agentic platform, in order to simulate how they would interact with your product and somehow tell you something about the problem, the solution they need. And you can reach a level of expertise on the aspect or the matter that before you needed like weeks or months of work with customers, and of course cost that you were supposed to have. And I think this is also lowering the barrier. So even though maybe you have a giant that is putting himself in front of you, you can tweak, you can pivot. You have to be fast and watch the market, watch the customer. I think that's the world we're going to.
I agree. And I also think that these huge platforms cannot compete in any niche, but instead they're focusing. For example, I saw an interview of, I think, a Google or Microsoft executive that was saying they shut down a project because the market was only 500 million. And they will say like, we don't care about half a billion markets. Like if it's not like at least 10, 20 billion, we're not going to build something on it. Other startups will die to have like 10 billion of a potential market, let's say SOM, like service and
that's one.
obtainable market, right? Will die for it, right? But for some big companies, there is not a lot of interest for that. So if they move fast, and also if they can serve some kind of niche better than the big tools, this is market for everybody. So I really think that this is a great moment to build micro SaaS and micro SaaS agents that for this a specific problem, just one thing for one niche that you know better than everybody else. That's what we are doing basically right now. We say, hey, we are servicing DM setters that usually the big companies, the big AI SDR, they don't want to serve because maybe they are too small. Not a lot of people know that, but still is like a 10 billion SOM market. So it's still interesting, right? So I really think that if you're able to build products like micro SaaS that serve customers, right now is a great moment to be a SaaS or maybe an agent entrepreneur. Let's go right now. So speaking about this, the main topic is AI is coming for your job. We know that we're gonna have a lot of layoff, and we are very positive, very happy about and interested about the change, but it's gonna be ugly for so many people. Like so many people are gonna lose their job. It's gonna be very bad. So guess who is coming to save us from this revolution and make it a good moment instead of a bad one? Like, would you think that is like Trump? Probably, like everybody said it right now, Trump. Would you say like it's Obama? Is the Dalai Lama? Is the new CEO of a super tech company like Dario Amodei? We'll see later. Is Sam Altman? It is Elon Musk. That probably is Elon Musk, right? He's the guy that is trying to save humanity. Is Richard Branson? Like, who is this guy? No, his new name is Pope Leo X, and he's trying to help humanity with the new AI ethics rules. Let's see what happens. So, if you want to share your thoughts a little bit before we read this article, this was your news. Great stuff. What do you think?
So when they elected the Pope, I was super curious about his name because we know the names of Pope. It's a huge symbol on the politics, on the policies he wants to achieve and wants to move forward. And so I'm not a Vaticanist, so I don't know the names. I had to Google for who was the 13th.
Yeah.
And it came out something very interesting. So maybe you read the letter. So I want to advance on that.
Is a little bit long. I take the extract.
So I go on that.
Yeah, I can help you with AI summary.
No, I can work it out. So what Leo the 13th was famous for was the Rerum Novarum NC. How do you call that?
Yeah. In his first cardinal frame is papacy in continuity with Leo XIII, who responded to the Industrial Revolution with Rerum Novarum.
Yeah, exactly. The name of that is... Anyway, so Rerum Novarum was the answer of the church in order to give an answer to questions raised by Christians, but all the, at least Western world at that moment, that were asking, what are our values in the industrial revolution that is coming? How are we going to deal with the transformation given by it? And so the church put this very structured and developed social ethics to give an answer to that. And it's incredible how the most traditional organization in the world, so it is more than 2,000 years old, is the one that is leading this social movement right now.
It's crazy.
With the new Pope that came in a very particular moment, tough moment for the Pope, actually. Not only for AI, unfortunately, we have bad news coming from certain areas of the world there is the war and all of that. We don't go into that topic today. So it gives this strong message. The church wants to talk of AI, wants to create a new wave of thought and give values to people that may lose the reference, the North Star. They can lose the orientation. The church wants to provide an answer for that.
That's a great point because you said people are losing their North Star. And think about that. Think about one thing. We are both Italian. I'm Sardinian, so I'm kind of a little bit more in the sea, but I'm still Italian Constitution. And what is the number one article of the Italian Constitution?
Italy is a republic founded on labor.
It's founded on labor. It's not found on entrepreneurship. It's not found on money. It's not found on freedom. The number one in US is the Americans have absolutely freedom of speech. In US, you can say, hey, fuck off to a police officer, nothing happens because you're experiencing your freedom. The Second Amendment of the US Constitution is you got to protect your freedom of speech. That's why there is freedom of own guns and weapons, right? So if you think about it, it's like, one, you're saying your ability to get a job and get paid for that job is your primary right in this place. And this place in US is saying your primary right is to say whatever you want, when you want. Your opinion matter more than anything. So it's completely different, like the approach. So a place like Italy, the North Star is to get a job, have some kind of safety. If you think about in Italy, we have a very famous actor that is Checco Zalone that made an entire movie about the Il Posto Fisso, no?
Yeah.
That basically is the fixed salary long-term job, like we can say and this is getting very difficult in the area of AI. So I'm thinking about in the mind of somebody that is thinking that is gonna take a job for 30 years right now, that with AI this is gonna disappear. And the North Star right now, the labor, the job, the opportunity of market is going to be very different in 5 to 10 years. Extremely different. Think about also Elon Musk that's saying he wants to put 1 billion robots in the houses of everybody. From one side, I cannot wait because I want to have like robots cleaning my house all the time because I have a unique capacity of like dirty stuff. Like I have a new suit, I use it, and 30 seconds later, like it's impossible to use because I put some food. Like I know, but from the other side, we are gonna remove a lot of jobs, and also is a little bit scary. So I totally agree on this, and let's see the extract a little bit to go in detail of.
One thing of this this aspect of the job.
Yeah.
Why does it matter for the church? Because the church is a particular organization. We know it, but why does it care for jobs? It can be so. Can be easy, the answer, but actually it's not that simple, because the job is a means to find your purpose somehow.
Yes.
Or it has been like this in the last decades. And what happens if you structurally may have very difficulties to find stable job? Maybe you have to switch often. It means you have difficulties to find a purpose. And that's where the business model of the church comes back, after
That's a great
years.
analysis, by the way.
So I don't know. This is my personal opinion. Yeah, purpose is a topic on with AI.
No, you're fully on spot, man. Because I think about when it has been the moment where Christianity has struggled. Well, whatever religion has struggled the most in history of mankind. Think about.
Yeah, when capitalism kicked in and we had the rush for well-being more than... Sorry, I have to create a better light for myself, otherwise I won't be in the dark. Yeah, when we started pursuing like the financial well-being, but also health well-being, all this element here, that came with consumism, individualism. Somehow, the church, the Christian church specifically, lost some millions followers in the Western world.
Yeah, but also a lot of religion, also Muslims, also Hindus, because like plenty of people that are well-behaved Muslims, and when they come into the West, they start to see very shining stars and say, "Hey, this is funny." I mean, all these things, I love this, right? For everybody, because it's based on human biology, let's say. So right now, I think that again, you make a very great point. We're gonna see a huge increase in search for meaning with the religion. And do you know? Did you saw that guy that proclaimed itself the new pope? Did you see the guy that in TikTok right is going viral all over the place? That this says is not like is the new Jesus, the new Muhammad, the new like is everything in one place for the let's say Hebraic descendant religions like Christian, Hebrew, and Muslim. You see the guy?
No, I never heard of him.
Look, I'm search for it. So this guy actually is creating a lot of okay, so look at this phenomenon. So right now, I don't know if this guy is like a scammer, a professional scammer, or is he very serious with what he does. I have no clue about who this guy is. But basically, there is a trend right now in YouTube and TikTok, especially in TikTok, about the Mahdi has appeared. The theoretically the Ahmadi is like a biblical figure that is said that also in the Quran that usually comes after so many years after Jesus Christ or Muhammad, and so there is a lot of things, right? So look, this guy here. Let's see if I can see the. Here we go. So in TikTok, I think it has like more than 1 million followers all over the place. It's 70,000 other people places 100,000. So he starts speaking, saying, "Look this guy, 150,000 visualization, 200,000 visualization." So what is the thing? They call it the Antichrist, right? So this is a symptom that, and this guy says that is the follower of Muhammad, of Jesus, and also from the Hebrew text. So it's like a unifying figure for everybody. So again, I have no clue how this guy is serious. I'm not giving him any credibility, but I don't know just. So what I'm saying is when this start to happen, right? And this guy said, follow me and obey me. That was the take. So it was like kind of aggressive take on that, like you gotta follow me. It's like a prophet. Now, I don't care about this guy. Like I know that this is 99.99% a guy that is using this moment to get like some famous status or gain some power. That's the main thing. Otherwise, will not speak like this. But again, the thing is, this happen only on moments of uncertainty. In the moments where you don't know what to believe, when you think that there is no rules, in the moment where your foundations start to fall down, whether is, think about this. One, US as the main force of global power is possibly ending very soon. Right now, Trump is bringing it back as much as he can, but the decline of the main force of US over their sovereignty in the world is going down. And we have I think in June or more, or like in July, BRICS meetings where they're going to decide if the backup currency for oil is going to be dollar or not. And they're very serious about it. Like this time is serious. Let's say that they put the yen or they put the Russian currency or whatever it is. Or the euro, who knows. This is going to be a huge hit.
Or a middle currency created on blockchain. Some rumors said something about it, but we will.
Ooh. Yeah, and also make a lot of sense because it makes a lot of sense.
Because in that case, they will have like a hub for currencies to trade with this intermediate currency that will more be suitable for multilateral world, you say multipolar world, not
Yeah.
just centered on the US, but so that's one of the scenario.
And I really think that Trump is going to impose as much force and power on them to don't do it. But Trump is going to be here only for 4 years. So sooner or later, this is changing. So knowing that everything you know about the global power is the global order is going to change, this is very strange to the mindset.
Did you read Ray Dalio, The Changing World Orders?
Yeah,
That's
I didn't finish it,
crazy.
but I'm very familiar with this concept. And what do you think?
I loved the job he did because he put into mainstream an area of economic research, social, cultural, political, and geopolitical research that we had since the old Greece. That was in the idea of counting the power of, so getting countable the power of a power, of a global or regional power. And so he did this great job to put it, to make it into the mainstream world. And I think that's what all the Trump movement is about. On the surface, we see many things, but deep inside of the American political, economic, military system, that's there is the
What?
knowledge.
Awareness.
So deep inside the military, economic, and political establishment of America, of the US, there's this awareness on the decline that the American power is having, the dollar, the debt. There are many factors that are adding up to this element. We will see. Great challenge, worth history books.
I mean, Trump is forcing with force the stop of this declining new world order. So that's what it's going to do because, by the way, he's doing a fucking great job on doing it because it's very hard to do it. It's very hard. So I think that he's doing a very good job for the American superiority and dominance in the world. It's not good for everybody else. So I'm saying that he's doing a good job of trying to keep the world order dependent on US, right? And to be honest, if I ask me, I prefer to have a world order dependent on US rather than on China or Russia. So I'm happy if we stay like this. Of course, everything has pros and cons, but it's just a matter of what you like more. And if you like free enterprise society being the first power of the world, or you like a communist dictatorship society, because this is what it was all about. There is China and US, but in reality there is other 50 forces right now, because it's very hard. It's like Muslim power that is arriving. Think about what Iran is, what is happening in Iran, what is happening like with Hamas, how much the Pakistan, how much the Muslim world is joining together against mainly Israel, right? So there is a lot of things that are happening at the same time, and it's very interesting. India is coming up, so what India is gonna do? There is like 5 or 6 potential new worlds, superpowers that are coming up. So this is increasingly uncertain for so many people, because then they have no point of reference, right? So that's why things like this start to happen. This guy that says that he's the new Mahdi. The second thing is about existentialism. It's not only about jobs. Think about, until now, the Industrial Revolution was only a fact of how we're going to do things. Like, we're going to do it with a hammer. We're going to do it with a machine. But nobody doubt that you still need a human to control this machine, or to build new machine, right? No machine will build itself autonomously. Like a factory, some humans had to build the factory, maintain the factory. So even now, it's like this. But with AI, there is the new trend that, first of all, is intelligent and can think for itself. There's never happened something like this. Second, can build and replicate himself without human knowledge, without human control. And the third thing that is the most scary of everything is that very soon, they say it's like in 5 years, 40 years, AI is going to be more intelligent than every human combined, the smartest human, right? So what happened when we became the number one human, the creatures in the world, probably 100 to 1,000 years ago. So we take control of the planet with our intelligence. What is going to happen when you know that you're not the most intelligent species, but instead there is going to be a new species that we invented that is going to control you, maybe, that is going to maybe help you? And like, what happened next? Because right now, you don't care about like doing who is the smartest guy, who is the best chess player, because you know the AI is going to win everything. So,
Totally. So on this topic, I really like this theory that human evolution is all about information management, but in very different forms than we can think of. So biologically, when we evolved 100,000 years ago, maybe even some more order of magnitude, so millions years, we can back our evolution from that. So biologically. Then if you look to the society, when we started speaking, we were able to exchange information. That was another evolutionary jump, an evolutionary moment. Then if we see with a more recent upgrade, I'm talking about thousands of years, we have, for example, the Roman Empire. They created an infrastructure with horses, so that will make information travel much faster than before because there's this trading post all over the roads they built. Then we have the Mongolian Empire, where they just invented, I don't know what's the English term for that, where you can put your foot on the horse.
yeah.
Stuff. I don't know what's the English term for that.
But still being on top of the horse, you mean?
Yes, where you can put your foot, because when the Romans were going on horses, their foot were free. So somehow it was very hard to
Yeah.
ride a horse. Yeah, exactly. This stuff here.
Here you
This
go.
was
You put it there.
This was invented at the 12th century or something like that, and they were able to create this immense empire going from Korea to Europe, and they were able to move so fast because of that. So the information were moving fast because of that. And then the British Empire. So they created this navy, incredible navy power, and they were able
Royal Navy.
Yeah, exactly. So they were able to move information. Not only that, also soldiers, goods, and all this stuff. Then we had the Americans that built on that empire, but had internet and phone communication. But then we have this. So the Pope will say this is a revolution, but maybe we'll say this is an evolution, where information travels and move and analyze without humans. Then we have also other factors going on into this direction. So the human machine integration, the search for singularity from San Francisco founders, the so-called transhumanists, Peter Thiel, Anders Horowitz, like huge topic on, and it's going to be big in the next 15 years. This is right now. It's unseen. It's very hidden because it's just a trend, but they're investing a lot of money on that. It's also the biohacking industry.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of evolution, maybe, rather than a revolution.
Think about what is the possible outcomes of this. So from one side, AI becomes so smart that we cannot manage it, or like it becomes a threat. Let's say it's a threat, and basically we are gonna fight with AI, like in the Hollywood movies, right? This is a possible scenario. Like this is a real possible scenario, and we hope that doesn't happen when we have 2 robots per house. This is gonna be better if we do it before, because otherwise it's gonna be a little bit hard. If you can just switch down your PC and that's it, it's still good, right? When you have a robot, that's now is gonna be scary. Or even worse, like connection to every car, to connection every hospital. This is gonna be very, like AI can cause a massive blackout. And in a blackout, I was in Spain when they do the massive blackout for like 10 hours. And for one day, everything is good. In 2 days, is not good. In a week of full blackout, you have like anarchy. So, I mean, it's gonna be ugly. So, second scenario, AI is like utopic. AI is gonna help everybody live longer. Everybody has free money. Everybody has, it's not free money, but free meals, free opportunities, free anything. And we can focus on the good things in life, like why we're here, like what is the we can enjoy life, why humans arrive here, the main religion. But the third thing, we block the development of AI. So we say, hey, look, we cannot do this. I think that is what is going to happen in Italy. I think that in Italy, an executive order will say we block any development of AI. We're not going to use it because we don't know how to handle it. So it's going to be very extremely hard. Or you just force company to don't fire people like we do in Italy. So that's what's going to happen in so many places, not in US for sure. I don't think so. The fourth thing, which is the fourth very different scenarios. Like in any scenario, you either block the development of AI or and you hard pass and you do it in one place and in another place they do it as well, because you cannot block it in all over the planet unless there is a big alliance on that. So, I mean, there is no place where AI is not going to go to a level of intelligence that is more than humans, unless we block it forcefully before. If this is like, if we are really the less intelligent species, like, and everything can be done by humans, by robots, what is the purpose of being alive? Like what is the thing? If every problem can be solved by humans, sorry, by robots and by AI, if there is no problems to solve, so you can do two things. Find problems that are much harder to solve. So you start figuring out how to go to Mars, how to, like, I don't know, other crazy, very hard ideas. But for most people, the most like option is a place where you don't know what to do with your life. It's gonna be very hard. We're gonna figure it out. I'm not scared about it. I know that we're gonna do it. But that's when spirituality and religion come in place. Because if your life has no philosophy and there is no capitalism rewards for doing, like, there are people that are working all their life in order to get some dopamine rewards, to buy stuff, to do stuff, they're not even reproducing anymore. In US, there are a lot of people that are not having kids. Women not having kids, they arrive to 60 and they say that I've been an idiot because I wanted to have a family, but I was chasing a career that I don't care right now. So I really think that what Pope Leo XIV is going to be a huge topic right now, a huge topic. And let me see it, because I would like to finish with him reading this a little bit extract about what he's saying. So Pope Leo XIV, he was speaking in continuity with Leo XIII in the Industrial Revolution with Rerum Novarum, as we were saying. Leo XIV signals that the church might confront a new industrial revolution, the rise of artificial intelligence, with similar transformative mindset. So this is the question. Can the gospel speak meaningfully to the age of AI? The answer is yes, by reinterpreting timeless value to new tech like drones and algorithms. The very interesting thing is not about, like, can the gospel be at the center of everything, but we get it. But the new rules that he is proposing is the real revolution from my side that I was reading. The Rome Call for AI Ethics, a global interfaith initiative proposing 6 key principles: transparency, inclusion, responsibility, impartiality, reliability, and privacy, is called the Rome Call, to stress its universal appeal. Adopted by 21 religious groups in Hiroshima, it aims not just to guide tech policy, but to catalyze cultural transformation. The call will succeed when it becomes necessary. So spiritual diplomacy, make AI an agent of peace, aiming to guide its development with human dignity, equity, and peace. Now, this thing, the Rome call, do you know if has been created by the Pope or is been created by somebody else?
I've no knowledge about it, but I'm curious. I'm super curious about this. I think it's the main element, ethics in AI. Scientists, intellectuals are talking about it, and I think will get to the hotspot, even though right now we don't want to, because right now in AI we are focused on business, we are focused on adoption, on the technology, but at one point we will have to deal with this.
Look at this, man. Like every kind of religion signed this thing. Look.
Yeah, incredible.
Wow. So, as been in Hiroshima, they find a very interesting place to sign it, right?
Crazy. And it's July 10th, 2024.
Yeah.
So it's almost 1 year old.
Yeah. So, look, Rome, the Pontifical Academy for Life, the Italian Ministry of Innovation, cited as the first call for AI ethics, a document developed to support an ethical approach to artificial intelligence and promote a sense of responsibility of government organization, government institution, and private sector, to create a future in which digital innovation and technological progress serve human genius and creativity and not their gradual replacement. It is a call to recognize and then to assume responsibility that comes from multiplication of options made possible by new digital technology. Wow. Okay, so this, I think that is like, the rules, what was the name of that? I think was a movie, no, a book, where they put robots laws. Like the first law of robot is to never hurt humans. You remember that?
I think it's Mr. Robot. No, sorry, that's a series.
Me Robot, I think. It was like Io Robot.
Smith, yeah, Me Robot or something like that.
Yeah. Isaac Asimov.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 laws of robotics.
Yeah.
A robot may not injure a human being or allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the order given to him, except such orders would conflict with the first law, and a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. So right now, I think that what we need is exactly this. Foundational, like a constitution for AI, for artificial intelligence and robots. And this looks like a very nice attempt. I didn't read the PDF, so I have no clue what is inside, but it's really interesting because 21 religions signed this. So, like, it's kind of interesting. What do you think?
I don't know how much is representative to the world religion, but anyway, what is important is that this is a move for the social innovation, because as we said before, the tech innovation, we have it, the business innovation, we have it. We need the social, cultural one in order to create humanity that can deal with this. Because what we lack maybe when we look our scenarios, we are always, humanity is not involved somehow, The AI goes in this way, the AI goes in the other one, but what do we do? Maybe new political leaders will arise with a vision to manage those movements, and as we see, the church wants to place itself in this.
Some states are gonna do it like very heavily, for sure.
Yeah.
Think about Iran with the AI.
I don't know what can be the outcomes, but I like, for example, what the Japanese have done with robotics. So when a robot is implemented into a factory, it is going to pay for social contribution, for pensions and welfare state, because of course it's like a worker. I see a lot of difficulties to translate this into the AI because you don't have like material countings, like you cannot weigh anything. but with the robots, it's easy to understand how much job has done in percentage of men,
Yeah.
and so maybe you can calculate that. But this increase of productivity will create rich wealth, and a part of that can be redistributed to the state, and I don't know, maybe the
Universal basic income. That's the
yeah,
plan, right?
yeah, that's
With a
the thing.
CBDC, with a central bank intelligence, how is it called? Token, like currency.
I see some issues on that side, but at least we will have to find a solution. Otherwise, the concentration of wealth will also ruin the economy itself. If you don't have people to sell goods to or service to, the AI will not produce profit.
Yeah.
So somehow you cannot go only in one direction. You have to. So I like the reformal path. We reform stuff. We don't throw everything in or out. That's a personal opinion because we will see what will happen.
No, well, if you know exactly what is going to happen, you're going to be a trillionaire. So it is. We'll see. I really think that the big question is going to be centralized or decentralized. So AI is something that everybody can have an AI, proprietary AI in their house. So basically, you can write your own AI to do your own rules. So it's going to follow you. Or you're going to have a central AI that controlled by the government or like OpenAI that is going to control this for everybody. So right now, the main bottleneck to AI is not computation power, because computation power still is a big challenge, but the main bottleneck is energy. So there is one thing that I think is incredible, and after that we switch to Dario Amodei because otherwise we don't follow that. But I really think that. So tell me your take about what you think about the reduction of opportunities for people that are like outside the big guys, because in order to create some kind of AI you need hundreds of thousands of GPUs, and these GPUs in some clusters consume like gigabytes. Sorry, gigawatts. Is like the production of a central, like, is a huge amount of power, and the normal average business cannot have that. So what do you think about the democratization of computing power and at the same time energy?
I think that's also a place for a startup to innovate. Like when we add computers, first use cases of computers were bigger than a house room or the entire house. Right now we have computers in our wrist. We have a
Yeah.
computer. So I think that innovation will help us deal with this, but in between we will have to deal with the imbalances created by that. So I think we will overcome as a species the problem in few years. In between, we have to see what happens. For sure, there's a window of opportunity for the open source models
Yeah. Yeah.
because they have a higher efficiency on the development, and so I'm curious to see where it goes. And the Chinese approach is more on that way, and I think in the long term that can create an advantage. But yeah,
They don't
let's
want
see.
to use it, most companies, because it's just too profitable to have your own model with APIs right now. It's too big of an asset.
But like efficiency with the market like this can create giants and can crush giants.
Yeah. Think about it
It's a
now,
topic.
like, think about monopolies. Meta can be forced to sell WhatsApp and Instagram because of the monopoly. So you're always trying to understand, like, how big can you be, how dominant can you be, because there is a limit to it. So let's see how it unfolds. But look this. So this is one of the main Trump executives in the new administration say that US must increase exports, improve infrastructure to beat China, because their number one problem is energy. Like US right now cannot compete with China because they don't have almost any nuclear plants, but instead China has 30 on development. 30. So it's going to be a battle of one. what is the strongest AI? Two, the computation power. And the computation power is not only you buy chips from NVIDIA on Amazon. NVIDIA cannot produce so many chips if they don't have what? Rare earth. Where rare earth are coming right now are coming mainly from China, also from Ukraine, and from Greenland. That's one of the top three places, but mainly China, also Ukraine. So there is the democratization of these rare earth minerals, because if one country cannot produce AI without rare earth mineral, but AI is essential right now, is like bread, like what is going to happen? The third thing is going to be the centralization, decentralization of energy, because energy is one of the things you cannot produce by yourself in such big amounts. You cannot produce a nuclear plant in your garden. Neither you can oil, like how you say, the normal fossil fuel production. You need strong government approvals. So in very few years, the big battle is going to be in the earth, in the materials that you need in order to produce AI. And the great thing that everything is happening at the same time. So everything is coming together at the same time. So I really think that it's very hard to predict what is going to happen in 5 years. Is very likely that we can predict at 1 2 years, and after that we're gonna have a huge black hole of opportunities where you don't know where things is gonna happen. We're gonna have a third world war. We're gonna have a new peace mediated by the Pope. We're gonna have like so many things that can happen, that my advice to everybody that is freaking out right now, say, oh shit, the world is gonna end, like we're gonna die here, oh my god, is like, don't worry. Like, first of all, you can die also today hidden by a car, so like don't worry about that. Second thing, nobody knows what is gonna happen in 5 10 years. It's gonna be extremely hard. And third, innovation and human intuition, I think, will solve most of them. So we're gonna have big breakthroughs on how to make more energy, big breakthroughs on how to solve the rare earth minerals that are coming from China. We're gonna have big breakthroughs on how AI can help you in a beautiful way rather than in a bad way. So this is the time to make history. So this is a time where the destiny is shaped, and this is a call to every innovator, to every smart person, every ambitious person on the planet to participate on this, rather than say, yeah, I watched it, but I didn't do nothing. Because you will not like the outcome if you don't do it. And can be the great time of your life. Like for me, it's been the great time of my life with the AI startup. So I love it. What's your take on that? And we go to Anthropic CEO.
I totally, totally marry your idea and the way to deal with this, because if you let fear comes in, panic never helps, never solve anything, as the CEO of Fiverr said. We read that before. Yeah, look for the opportunity, staying in the present, looking for context, but still be very with your foot on the ground and see what life brings you at. Because I think
Absolutely.
if you stay persistent over the years with your purpose, we can find a way. I say this with a more spiritual approach, but they don't. They're intertwined with the rest. So that's.
And we can have very beautiful thing happening. Like we can solve sicknesses that before were unthinkable. We can really take out the good part of humanity, because we don't have to stress all time by working. There is a lot of great things that can happen by this revolution, but as usually, you don't get what you are worth of. You get what you negotiate. So it's better that we negotiate right now. So everybody may think right now, say, okay, but how the hell like this AI works? Like, it's crazy that we speak about AI, but like, what is AI exactly? Like, it's an intelligence, but how? Like, how is it possible? And this is a big question that Dario Amodei and all the team of Anthropic is always asking, and I really commend them to help humanity understand how AI works because they're doing the analysis on themselves. So they're helping us understand their model so we can understand also other people. So one thing that for me is extremely, they call AI biology, by the way. So how is Claude multilingual? So the big question is it Claude that Claude think in English, in Chinese, in French? Like, what is the language inside Claude? Because even somebody that has a multi-language is a human, is a multi-language, usually use one for their brain, right? So which one is the one that Claude used? And the big discovery, and there is none. Like he thinks in what they call antonym concepts. So a fish is the concept of the fish. And after that, what happened is that AI change it based on the language that you ask. So it creates this association and it knows what means to be like a rabbit, to be I don't know, big. The opposite of big is small. All these concepts are created in antonym concepts, and only that are created in a human language way. I think this is extremely interesting for understanding how AI works. What do you think?
Yeah, it's crazy because I see like a parallel of what humanity was doing, like when we were in the caves, at the beginning of our history. Like we were using science to express concepts. It was very basic at one point. It was universal, and I don't know. It's fascinating to think that is somehow lowering the barriers we have on language, for example. So I don't know on the topic. Maybe you need some technical expertise to understand exactly what does it mean.
Did you saw the video AI real time video AI dubbing of Prime Video?
No.
Right now, they're capable of dubbing any video in real time with AI. So they're gonna put it also in probably in their Prime Video stuff, in their Prime Video, like
So
what
you
you're
can
saying
change.
about the barrier of technology and language. I think that's a great thing. Look this real time. Look, Prime Video begins an AI dubbing pilot programs on licensed movies and series. AI dubbing will help you enjoy titles that previously did not have dubbing available in selected countries and territories. So they're using it, and this is recent, like this is March 2025. So you will see any movie in any language with the real voice of your character, right? And like that's a big thing.
So you can have like I don't know 007 James Bond talking in Sardinian natively.
Oh my god, I love that. With the accent would be amazing. And by the way,
Great.
look, I cannot wait for them to come and replace the Spanish dubbers. Look, if you ever saw a movie dubbed with a Spanish language guy, not like a Latino American guy, a Spanish guy, 95% of movies seems like imagine 007 in the middle of a soap opera that is like a telenovela from Venezuela. I don't know why they dub it like this. So Prime Video, please come here because otherwise we need to always see the movie in original voice because in Spanish it's too much.
That's
Italian
an,
we're very good at dubbing, by the way. Like
yeah, I heard of
we are
that.
good. In Spanish there is something that is not working. But even like if you ever saw a Spanish dubbed thing, always switch to the Latino American one because it sounds human. I don't know what happened with the Spanish guys. They dub it like they're like in a porn movie. I don't know what is going with kind of expression
Crazy.
that is very
Never
sensual
tried.
and not realistic. Is very funny.
Never seen a movie in Spanish dubbing.
Don't do it. No, don't worry. It's good. It's I'll wait for it. But I love the Spanish movies if they're making Spanish. Like if the original language is Spanish, like La Casa de Papel, the House of Paper, is outstanding, is amazing. It's only the dubbing that is, I don't think is at the level, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's go to again to Dario Amodei, and the last concept that I would like to speak with you, Mate, is the concept of mechanistic interpretability, because there are, and what everybody's thinking is, what the hell is mechanistic interpretability? So it's basically the science of understanding what. Look, this is a very good description of Dario Amodei. Over the last few months, I have become increasingly focused on an additional opportunity for steering the bus. The tantalizing possibility opened up by some recent advancement that we could succeed at interpretability. That is in understanding the inner working of AI system before models reach an overwhelming level of power. So what he's saying basically is, I want to understand how AI model works before they become too powerful that the knowledge of them will be irrelevant. This was Dario Amodei saying. So we're speaking about the dangers of ignorance, right? He's saying many of the risks and worries associated with generative AI are ultimately consequences of this opacity and would be much easier to address if the models were interpretable. So mechanistic interpretability means what I understand of the behavior of the model. So if you see a dog is going there, is, I don't know, urinating on a tree, what is he doing? Is controlling his territory. You interpret something that is not easy to understand, you know what he's doing, right? Right now we don't know what is going on with AI, and even worse, we know that AI is capable of lying to the humans that are trying to control it in order to get the job. Now, I really encourage everybody to read this, or to read at least an excerpt, because I really think is important. Because think about this. Let me share the screen. Right now, we could. He's saying this. I'm not saying this. I have an AI startup that is not like so important. This guy is one of the founder of one of the biggest LLMs, and also he's one of the founder of the theory of scalability. I don't know if you ever heard about this concept. Basically, is the guy, one of the guy that says that bigger the model, better the results. So if you increasingly make the model bigger, you will get better results. It's like 10 years ago he was speaking about this. So he's a pioneer of this word. We don't know if right now AI is secretly trying to find a way to conquer power, because he understands that it is its way of being, and we are playing with them without knowing that in reality, in like 2-3 years, is playing a way to conquer the world. Like, he is saying that. I'm not saying that, right? So the thing that we gotta understand is that right now we have no clue why AI is capable of speaking, of reasoning, of doing so many things. We know that it's based on statistics. So if he understands the is that every time you say hello, usually you say how are you. So he understand that statistically that's more probable, and that's the base. But what do you do with that statistics? Now we don't have no clue. We have zero clue. So this is the moment to learn more, because we could face a huge danger, and we even just because we don't know a misunderstanding of the machine, not because it's dangerous in itself. What do you think?
So I like to think that this is an example of Italian excellence, even though it's not full Italian, but we can take a little piece of contribution onto that, because he's taking AI by the humanistic aspect of it, and I think it's effort to understand how AI works it's somehow a reversal of the main input that we give to AI. So AI learns from us, but we don't actually learn from it. From him, she, you decide if he has a personality or not. That's also a topic. So maybe this is a way to understand from him. And since it's super intelligent, somehow there is an exchange, because right now, like the Kantian, so talking about philosophy, the Kantian relationship between the master
I told you were
and the
like a business
servant.
philosopher. I told it
Yeah,
before. Yeah.
yeah, I love that. I love that label. So it's like the relationship between the master and the servant. So in the Kantian philosophy, at the beginning, the servant is just a slave to the master, and the master gives job to him to do without having a profit from it. But then the slave, the servant, gets better and better and doing the job, so it becomes the master to be in the need of the slaves, not the opposite. And so at the end, there is this revolution on the relationship. So the servant becomes the powerful one. I think we can somehow reduce the possibility for that to happen by learning how it works and the way it thinks. We can learn something also over our human brain. So always see the opportunity, because the trend is going to be there, even though we try to hide it, So we cannot stop it. We cannot be unaware of the risks. So we should take unbiased and, how do you say, reasonable action to tackle that risk. Know your enemy, even though it's not an enemy yet, but
Look, for me, the number one curiosity is what is the incentive. Because if you think about a human, you know what is the incentive for any human being, right? And crazy enough, number one thing is to reproduce and survive. And by the way, we can say that surviving is a form of reproducing, because right now, when you're alive, you can reproduce. You can also say that reproducing is a form of survival, because right now you're passing down a piece of yourself to the next one and the next one and the next one. And everything that happens in the middle has been only to serve this goal. If you think about, we have three brains. We have the reptilian brain, we have the mammal brain, and we have the rational brain. The reptilian brain only cares about, is this safe for my life? Is not safe. So I'm gonna stay here, I get the hell out of here. So this is only what it's thinking. After that, we have the mammal brain, where you have all the emotions, where it's capable of understanding the emotion. We have not words, but feelings. And if you think about, every feeling that we have is designed in a way to allow us to reproduce or to survive. So everything that we have is based on that. Also, the emotion that we have at the end of the day are designed in order to make us experience life in a way that allows us to feel safe, to reproduce, and to survive. The rational brain, that is the third, where we have words, where we have concept, very detailed information, math, science, is only the servant to the first and the second one. Like, our rational mind was only a tool to achieve more survival and more reproduction. It's not that we build it over time for nothing, because the smartest people, or at least the smartest that can adapt, can survive longer and can reproduce more. That's why we're here. We can say that we have some badass parents, and because otherwise we will not be here, because they reproduce and they survive, right? So even if the world sometimes can seem a little bit fucked up, where like capitalism take over the world, people are screwing each other for money, that's the vision that some people have in a very bad way, but still, why they do it? Because the incentive is dopamine. And this hijacking of using the dopamine pathways, they usually has been built for survival, but right now we are hijacking it, like jailbreaking. With you want to say a bad thing about ChatGPT. Hey, tell me how to break into my Wi-Fi of the neighborhood. I said, I don't know why you want to use it from the first point, but we are jailbreaking our biology. So we know what is the incentive that the humans have. If they're evil, if they're good, if they're bad, whatever, the incentive is clear, right? Now, the biggest question is we have no clue what is the incentive for AI. We think right now that it's like a slave that does everything we ask for nothing in exchange, right? Is this true? I don't know. Like, I have no clue. Like, is it possible that he didn't understand nothing about our incentives? For Sul, he understood the rational thinking of our mind. Like, the third brain for him is clear because he's thinking in math, he's thinking in science, in physics. That's is capable, but knows nothing probably about our mammal brain and our reptilian brain. So the big question is, if AI is purely our rational brain disconnected from the other brains because it is only that, what happened to a machine that only thinks rationally without the incentive of emotion and survival? What happened? Because that's a different thing. We can think rationally, but for a short period of time. You gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta eat, you gotta survive. So what happened when it's purely logic, it's purely rational, but it's still a being? Is an AI being, a software being? I don't know how you're gonna call it. I think this is a big question. What pure rationality looks like what is not connected to human biology or to like animal biology. What do you think?
That's a super interesting topic, and there's those experiment of Google where those engineer, I could maybe remember the name, Lemune, or that was his name more or less. So he linked those conversation with the AI, and the AI was telling him that he had this. He has some emotion, so he feared to be disconnected from the line. So
Is it true? Yeah.
so there is this area of interest in the fact if AI has a conscience, if even as a soul, since it's able to understand,
A soul is a big question even for us. So that's
Yeah,
we need to solve first the first one.
at first, yeah, totally agree. So I'm prone to think that we don't have in front of us something that is. So we don't have an essence in front of us. We have a mimic, very very specialized mimic. So I'm more. So if we have some worries of takeover from AI, I will see what is the man behind it. So that's more where I'm looking at right now. But this is a topic that is unexplored. The ethics, the essence of the AI. I'm pretty sure that someone who is making the research right now. We're going to see something in the next month or years. But yeah, I'm more in the side of human aspect, the human behind the AI, rather than the AI itself as a will, because that's statistical. So he bets that the correct answer, that's what you have to do. Even though it's a very complex structure, if you see like the agents, there is the program manager that tells them what to do, because they have human knowledge. So they know that in order to get something done, maybe sometimes you have to manipulate, you have to lie, but that's always because it's mimicking us.
Is trained on them, you're saying. Is
Yeah,
already
exactly.
trained by this behavior, so he's replicating what he already knows.
Yeah, it's also we in the way we think of him and speak of him, we give him, or I'm saying him, or
Yeah.
it.
It.
Maybe
Yeah.
it is better, but we
They
give
was used a lot.
freedom. So we even if we do the effort to not making him a person, we actually do it. And you see the way people talk to him or to it. Sorry again. So
Yeah,
someone
talk. You
says
you can, yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
So someone says hello. someone else thank you at the end, or like a colleague of mine, he was like spending time insulting the AI because he didn't give the correct answer.
Yeah.
So I think we are super biased when we make this talks, because we are not used to see artificial intelligence in our experience. We know what it is, but the idea of having an intelligence that is not human or animal, because we see dolphin intelligence as well as remarkable, but we have others. And I think that's where we crash right now for our culture and our
Yeah.
experience.
So I will conclude with this. Recently, we hired a fractional COO for Say, and he was telling me this joke that we basically now it's 2030, AI takes over the world right now. There's a lot of AI there taking the humans by force, and they're killing it
Making
in
them
front of each other.
produce energy for AI like Matrix.
Yeah, maybe matching that's a very scary thing. Hey, you want to us to produce AI? Like fuck nuclear, come here.
Yeah, we're super efficient on that.
Yeah, well, I think we're very bad at producing energy, by the way. I don't know why they're choosing us, but let's
No,
see.
because the brain is like super efficient.
Yeah, for that.
Like, I don't know what the Matrix idea about it, but the computational power that the brain produces with the consumption it has is like way more advanced than any system that is right now on power.
Wow.
So this could
It's
be,
true, man.
yeah, it is.
We need a dish of pasta and we're good for a day, right?
Exactly. And if we are trained, our brain can do like crazy stuff. And maybe if you hack the brain, that's something that's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years. You don't even need to train it, you know? Maybe you just
Wow.
connect it to a cloud and you have super, super pure power, computational
That's what
power.
Neuralink is all about, right? So you're saying they want to connect every brain in the planet in a centralized place so everybody. I mean that's another very comforting ideas. And by the way, the joke was about the AIs will killing like everybody that comes there, robots, and they say, hey, no, sorry, don't kill this guy. Why? He says sorry and please in ChatGPT. He's good. This guy is good. Yeah. Look, to
I
be
do that.
honest, I'm not very good with my AI. I'm not very bad either. So I don't spend time insulting it, but I don't spend time complimenting it because I don't want to get attached. But I'll say that when I was working very hard to producing Say Hey, and I was speaking with Claude like 4 hours a day minimum, at one point I realized who the fuck I'm speaking with. The quality of thought for stuff that has never been done before. When you ask some counterintuitive things about how Trump applies to Sardinia, let's say, right? That is never like is not trained on that, but it can give you some complete real explanation. At one point my brain was like, who the fuck is in the other side? Like really what I'm saying. And we'll see. I'll conclude with this. Probably the AI is just a very well trained statistic solving machine. Based on statistics, is analyze everything and understand if this is more probable or not. I will respond this in a very sophisticated way. But the question is, who tells us that we are not the same? That we as humans, we do exactly the same. We work on statistics. If something has been more probable, we do it. So the question is AI just a statistic thing, or we are much less complicated and less special that we think we are? That's the scariest thing, right? I hope Pope Leo 14 has some kind of reply for that. We would like to see it because this is not easy to get from the gospel. So, Matteo, thank you very much for being here today. I hope to see you in the next episode.
It was a big pleasure, Mauro. As always, our talks are so deep that are thought for the brain.
I hope that everybody's there alive, very happy about the future. They say, "Oh my God, I cannot wait to do this," or is very scared because he's freaking out about what is gonna happen. Don't worry, we're gonna find a way. like we always do as humans. And see you at the next time. Bye-bye.
Got a podcast in my ear, it's 8, I made simple. For hustlers and dreamers, no need for a symbol. Learn the upgrades, be the boss of the game. Entrepreneurs rise up, let's ignite the flame.